the probability goes to the most similar things. And it's called soft because, well, it doesn't do that absolutely. It'll still give some probability to everything that's in the slightest bit similar. I mean, on the other hand, it's a slightly weird name because, you know, max normally takes a set of things and just returns one, the biggest of them, whereas the softmax is taking a set of numbers and is scaling them, but is returning the whole probability distribution. Okay, so now we have all the pieces of our model, and so how do we make our word vectors? Well, the idea of what we want to do is we want to fiddle our word vectors in such a way that we minimize our loss, i.e. that we maximize the probability of the words that we actually saw in the context of the center word. And so the theta represents all of our model parameters in one very long vector. So for our model here, the only parameters are our word vectors. So we have for each word two vectors, its context vector and its center vector, and each of those is a d-dimensional vector where d might be 300, and we have v many words, so we end up up with this big, huge vector, which is 2dv long, which if you have a 500,000 vocab times a 300-dimensional vector time, it's more math than I can do in my head, but it's got millions and millions of parameters. So it's got millions and millions of parameters, and we somehow want to fiddle them all to maximize the prediction of context words. And so the way we're going to do that then is we use calculus. So what we want to do is take that math that we've seen previously and say, well, with this objective function, we can work out derivatives, and so we can work out where the gradient is, so how we can walk downhill to minimize loss. So we're at some point and we can figure out what is downhill, and we can then progressively walk downhill and improve our model. And so what our job is going to be is to compute all of those vector gradients. Okay, so at this point, I then want to kind of show a little bit more as to how we can actually do that. And a couple more slides here, but maybe I'll just try and jigger things again and move to my interactive whiteboard. What we wanted to do, right, so we had our overall wave theta that we were wanting to minimize our to my interactive whiteboard. What we wanted to do, right, so